Josh, and this is Dr. Pam Overmyer, the owner of Emerald Coast Internal Medicine that's been in operation since 2005. Let me go ahead and start, and can you just give me a little basis on what it is you do and what your involvement is with your business?
I am the sole physician and I am the owner of the practice, and I am responsible for all of the financial, business, and medical decisions of the entire practice.
Okay. So what is it that your practice does exactly?
We are an internal medicine practice. We see elderly patients with chronic medical conditions. I started my own practice. I was in the military for several years and decided that I wanted to stop moving, and this is where I settled and thought I would start my own practice here.
Why did you decide to start your own practice rather than join somebody else's?
Honestly, I make a better boss than employee, so I felt that if I were the only one running the place, I wouldn't have to answer to someone else. I could be more flexible in what I do, and I could make it exactly how I wanted to.
Okay. So you're the sole owner of your business, and can you give me a reason why you chose to do that?
I really, I'm not much of a team player, so I would prefer to be the only decision maker rather than have shared decision making with, say, a partner or multiple employees where it's more of a group effort. I decided that I wanted to be the one making all the decisions and responsible for everything.
Can you give me a little background on how you think that's helped you, or how you think it's affected just you being the only one that's made the decisions?
It is a double-edged sword. In some aspects, it's a bit of a bonus because I make all the decisions and I don't have to ask anyone permission for anything, and it's me doing it. The counterpart to that is I'm also responsible for everything that may happen bad to the practice, and I don't have colleagues there with me to spread the burden around of taking care of patients. So it does have its good and bad parts, but to me, being the sole decision maker was the most important thing.
And now getting into the startup of your business, how did you obtain the capital to be able to open your own practice?
A lot of it came from personal savings, and then also got a loan for the real estate, and then also had a line of credit from a bank to fund the startup costs.
And about how much was the startup cost of your business?
The business was $450,000 for the building at a $100,000 line of credit, and I put $80,000 of my own personal money into it.
So
quite a bit up front.
About $600,000. Okay. Now you do deal with older clientele, so you don't dive into the social media aspects or the website aspects.
No, we do not have a website, and we do not have a presence on social media as far as the business goes. Most of my patients either don't do the internet, or what limited internet they do, it's maybe emailing their grandkids or a little bit of social media, keeping up with friends and family, but they generally don't do a lot of business on the internet, nor do they do much business on social media. So we chose not to have a website or a social media presence because it really was not needed in our practice.
So without that social media presence, how do you find your patients?
When we first started, I was actually stationed at the local Air Force Base, and I had a clinic out there and had patients. When I left, they actually closed the clinic, so I had a ready-made population to start with a good 250 patients initially.
Okay.
So that was the bulk of my patients to start with. And then being in the local area, and now it's been 15 years plus, my name is out there amongst the patients, and they talk. And when somebody's doctor leaves or they're not happy with them, they ask around and they find out that I'm there and I'm former Air Force, and it's basically word of mouth at this point.
Now you said that you used to run this internal medicine clinic on the Air Force Base. How do you think that helped you start your own practice with the running?
I'd actually been running an internal medicine clinic about a year after I graduated my residency, which was over 20 years ago. So the nice thing was I knew how a clinic functioned. I knew how to get the patient flow, how to manage the records. It's been, I've always been doing it. So the military allowed me some flexibility in running my clinic because I was the specialist, and frequently I was the only internist they had, so I made the decisions for my clinic. So that was helpful because I knew the medical side of it. I had no issues with that. The medical side of it I've been doing for so long that I knew how to run a clinic, I knew how I wanted to run a clinic, I knew how I wanted to manage my records and what I wanted to provide, what services I wanted to provide.
And that being so, did you find it difficult to gain the legal startup, to worry about all the legal issues, the laws and regulations?
No, I did a lot of reading as far as what clinic certificates I had to have, what services I needed to have set up prior to opening a practice. So what business license I needed, what city franchise-ship license. It was complicated initially, but I did have a good lawyer to start up and had a good accountant. And they helped me with a lot of the initial structuring of the business and what I needed to do. And then there's a lot on the internet that you can read about as far as what you need to do to start X business in that city.
Where did you find your employees that started up? Like, how did you talk them into taking this leap in a business that you're opening?
Started out, I knew a couple of people that may have been interested in having a new job. One was a friend of mine, was actually the biller at another medical clinic, and I approached her and asked if she would be willing to help me start this from the ground up and be my biller/office manager, and she agreed to it because it was an advancement for her, because her current job was not going to allow her to be an office manager or anything more than just a biller. So she was looking for advancement. And then the other employee was my neighbor, and she didn't have a job at the time, and I asked her if she wanted to answer phones and greet patients, and she said yes. So that's how we got the first employees. It was people I knew.
Now just wrapping up, do you think that there are some things that you did in the past that you should redo over? Like, if given the opportunity, would you redo?
Yeah, the number one thing is I could have limited my startup costs by restricting what I was going to do. I was used to providing certain services when I was a military internist that I had the luxury of the equipment and the staff and the supplies to manage. And when you're starting a practice especially, that's a lot of cost up front. And I could have early on decided I wasn't going to try to provide those services, and it would have cut down a lot of the startup costs.
Okay. And then last few questions. What do you plan to do with your business after you retire?
Well, I have a couple of options. The number one thing would be to sell the business and practice together and make it a package deal where somebody would get the both of them. If not, if I couldn't sell the practice, then I could sell the building, and then I would basically dissolve the practice. Because I am incorporated, I am the corporation, I'm the sole employee of the corporation, and if I am no longer in the business, then it's not, it has to be dissolved, it can't be transferred to someone else.
Okay. And then what are some recommendations you would give to somebody looking to start their own business?
Couple of things. You pick something you love, because the other thing is it's a lot of money to start with. So save up money with your day job before you make this leap to have some personal funds to supply, because you're going to have to go a while without money coming in. And number three, be prepared to work hard, because it's very tough to start from scratch. While rewarding, it's very difficult and long hours, and you have to be dedicated to what you do. And so if you're doing something you love, the financial stress and the hard work you're willing to put in for something that means something to you. And if you're doing something you love, you're more likely going to be able to do that, because this is not something that you can do for a couple of years and then quit, because because it's so much work to get it going, you gotta stick with it for the long haul. So pick something you love, save up some money to do it, and then work hard and do it.
Awesome, thank you.